Okay, we're all set. Um, okay, so let's just try to understand one thing that is you have to have a very strong concept about. This is to do with the itinerary of pages that are accumulated in the search engine, and there are billions and millions, billions of pages rather, and these pages are index means these are organized in a specific order, and for them to be called by anyone who is trying to use the search query, it could be a few words, a number of word search phrases, or a combination with advanced operator, no matter how you place the queries. The idea is that you are still searching in the index of a search engine, which means you're searching into their database, and their database is made up of pages. These pages are constructed in a language called HTML. HTML is standard for making those web pages, number one, to be visible on the internet. Number two, to have a clear cut layout and the the design of the pages that is visible, as well as the content that is embedded in there. So HTML is what makes those pages visible, and starts to organize that information on those pages that is visibly available for you as a user to look at. But the type of information that is collected at the time of indexing for these pages are a lot more than what you are able to see as a user. And when I say a lot more of information is collected by the search, it means that it is scouring through, or it is reading the codes, the HTML codes, and it is got the markings where it knows that these statements or these search phrases or anything that is held in those pages might be more important or less important. So this is what search engine, this is where it makes its choices. And in doing so, it looks at the tags, which is an enclosure or something which defines what is held inside of them. And this is when I'm talking about the program of HTML. So HTML has got a lot of tags, which means tags are like labels, and they're sort of containers. The information is embedded or placed inside of it. What that information is, it's usually textual information. It is a lot of text. Okay. So the way we are learning how to do search is that we are figuring out which operators would actually crawl and look up and do the matching of your search terms on those pages, but which region of those pages. There are, there is, you can think of it as as a the content page as having segments which are divided basically into just think of it as being divided into two segments. There is the header segment, and there is the body of text, rest of it. Never mind the footer. So let's just say two segments. Now, when we run the search using in title, it is not going to go and crawl and look for matching words in the body of text. Okay, over here it is only going to look for information that is actually in the HTML tags that are responsible for making the header appear as it is showing on your side. So for this header to appear the way it is shown here is typically the same design invariably for all the websites. There is always a header. Now, header means that what you are looking at is one format, but what is bringing this format in front of you are the coding or the HTML code, which is got certain type of information. That type of information is where the in title is going to go and pick and match those words to um, to ensure that it is acting on that information which is to do which is running behind the header and nothing to do with the body of text. So this type of information is actually got one element that is highlighted and that is considered to be the only pick for the in title to match with. Now, what is that tag? That tag is called the title tag. So when you're running in title colon, you are only asking the search to match something that is held in the tags of the title, and that title may not be showing in the header portion. It may or may not show, it just depends on how it is programmed, but surely it is a DNA or the main information or the meta level information that is held in the code responsible for bringing that header to your attention. So the limitation of using in title is that since it is only going to operate in that little piece of title tag, um, and that information is not very lengthy nor it is very complex. It is usually something which has got maybe 5 or 6 or 8 words at the most. So this disadvantage is that if you want to do a deeper query with lots of words and the kind of words or the phrases that don't belong in the title part, those those are the ones that will be okay. So the kind that does not belong there will not be the right type of keywords to use with in title. So if I'm using in title colon, I am asking it to look for the information that is talking about the site, is giving a general idea of what site is about. This type of information or the tag is also named meta tag, okay, or the meta information about the website or the web page. Okay. um so is this clear, Iromi?
Yeah, yeah, it's better. It's a better explanation.
Okay. So, and forgive me if I'm repeating it, it's just that I'm trying to, you know, explain it in few different ways. Okay. Now, if on the other hand we decide to use the operator in text instead of in title, and that is by choice because in text is the only operator that is going to find the main information or what is supposed to be a lot a lot of information that will be matched with your search terms because it has a lot of content in the middle part, and that's where we can use in text. When we use in text colon and declare the search term after, it is saying at this it is also saying that don't go and look for what is in the header or at the meta tag, or what is embedded in the meta tag is ignored, and the other information, which is, as I mentioned, is a lot of content, including the including the video clips, images, whatever is textual in nature, including headings, subheadings, all that will be searched to match the words. So in text, in reality, is a deeper search. If you want to search for sites that have a title to it, which is short, and which is describing the general idea of what you are looking for, or you know of the wordings that belong to the title statement and you place it on after the in title colon, surely you are not doing a deeper search, you are doing a surface level search. We also call that a broad search. Lot of times when we do broad search, we use less number of words. We want to get a general exploratory kind of search done because we want to expand on a basic idea of something, about something. Okay. But when we are searching for sentences, for longer search phrases, for scientific terms, for anything that could be part of the paras or the headings in the major content area, we will use in-text column. So let's say now how that is going to work. Now I'm going to share with you one more slide on this, which is this one. So not to make it too complicated, I'm going to ask you to just keep looking at the pointer and understand what we just talked about. It's just going to reinforce what I explained. Now, let's suppose this is the header portion. And in the header portion, the code that is running, which is responsible for making it appear as a header, is going to look like this. Okay. So it is actually uh, uh, projected and shown to you as an example, as an illustration. Of course, these wordings and all of these are not here because it's just a a diagram. But what is it that is important or considered as the embedded uh, information that is running behind the header portion? So this code is actually responsible for making the header appear as it is looking to you, but the search engine is reading the meta tags. The meta tags or the meta property is always going to be, and it is a convention when the programmer is doing the program, writing it in HTML, he will place the meta titles or the not the meta title, let's say meta information in the header. Why? Because when the search engine is indexing, it is going to read this part first, as if it is going from up and downwards. So when it comes and reads, the first thing it will catch for or look for is this information, and that is another reason it is embedded behind the header portion. So, what is it that is important, or the important tags that are running in the meta level? First meta tag is title. As you could see, it is going to talk about what the site is meant to deliver or meant to um, represent. Okay. Second is that it is going to read the description tag. Okay. This is called description tag. You don't have to worry about how it is, the way it is written, but important is that you understand that this is called another a meta tag is called description tag. Description is what appears in the gray colored fonts with the highlighted words, which is a lot more than just the title statement. It has got a lot more words, so it is the description part that's red. Then it is going to read the keywords. You don't get to see the keywords, okay, but search engine is reading it because it needs the meta level information to figure out whether this site is uh, supposed to have a meaning for the search terms. So the keywords are read so that the search only knows what are the specific type of highlighted um, important search phrases and search terms that belong to this website. Uh, what you get to see in the snippet is that this area, which is the meta description, okay, The title you get to see in the snippet. Keywords you don't get to see. Author, who is the author, you don't get to see that. So this information is used for ranking purposes or for other sorting reasons at the time of indexing, and it's not for the users to look at. Okay, so the third thing the user will look at, I'm sorry, the search engine will look at is collect the main or the top level of the domain. Okay, so the link, in other words, which is shown here, aofirs.org. So that's the third thing it's going to collect and show in your snippet. You see the link at the top in the snippet, then you see the title, then you see the description. So all three of these are actually pulled or organized at the time of indexing and later used in the snippets to become visible or for the user to make a decision of whether or not this is where they want to go further and click on it. So that is the header. Now, if you come to this part, which is the bulk of the content or more dynamic content in the sense of how it changes often, whereas the header, on the other hand, remains constant. So the middle portion is most important. It gives the freshness to the information. It gives a body to the information, which is a lot many uh, different types of content and all that. So what the in-text is going to read is this portion, and this portion has non-meta tags, which is to say are the type of information that does not belong at the meta level but belongs to the page as having a characteristic or having a property that can be described in terms of the type of information that would have different levels or different weightages of importance given to them based on what is held inside of different types of tags. So, for example, H1, H2, H3 tags are understood by the search as having the highest level of importance because they are supposed to be main captions like H1, H2 could be the subheading to the main heading, H3, H4, and so it just, sort of moves down in hierarchy of what is the top level, the second level, the third. So parent-child relationship starts to build when you embed when you're looking at level 5 heading, level 6 heading, level 3 heading, it is just giving you the name of the or the um, the function of all these, but what gets embedded inside of H3, H2, H1 is a textual format or a text that is held just like any other text as you see in meta properties or meta tags. So these tags are containers. These H1, H2, H4, H4 are the labels. The labels we also like to call non-meta tags. Okay. The other type of tags that holds the information are, for example, P. Okay, the P less than and greater than is just saying that this symbol or this notation is responsible for telling the search engine now you're entering a deeper text or a standard text or a paras uh, from of text, and therefore it has got a kind of uh, um, it has to go deeper and look for the matching terms. Okay, so one matching term if you're using in-text can be say in the first paragraph, assuming that there are 8 or 9 paras and it's a long text. Okay, and it has got a few words in the first para, a few words in the third, few words in the fourth para, and for it to be found, it would attend to the query depending on the type of search terms you have used. It would know where to look for them. First, it will look in the captions, main headings. then it'll start to move into the P portion or the subparas and the rest of the content. And so this thing continues. It has other tags also, the time and date and all that, but I don't want you to bother about it. I don't want to make it complicated, but be sure that you understand when you do in text colon, you are actually asking the search to now identify with the text that is held in these specific type of tags, which have more importance and which are more significant for the sake of making terms match with in text uh, declared properties. Okay. Now, without any doubt, this is the this is how you will understand the web page is just like you're holding something in the cabinet somewhere or in your drawer, and you need to know where these are. That's number one, which is what the URL is going to lead you to. And the second thing is that when you open the drawer, you also want to take out that specific piece of paper, which is important or which is what you're looking for. All of these collection of content pages is what makes the textual database of a search engine, and it can only pick up each page at a time. It is looking at every single page, and it is not supposed to. And then for the each page, let's suppose the page has a heading or it has something that says, okay, I have this page, and here is the identifier for the page, or here is the title of the page. So out of, let's say, 10 pages, you will pick the one page which has the exact title, and then you will read the page. Search does it exactly the same way. It holds those pages in its indexing system, and you are only calling those pages based on what is being matched, and what gets matched will depend on your best selection or the choice. Sometimes you just want the title, sometimes you can't figure it out from the title alone, and you want to take the whole page out and read the entire text to know if it is useful to you or not. So this is the concept, generally speaking. Is this making sense,
Yes.
Yes,
Majdi?
yes. So far, so good. Yeah, yeah.
Romy, better than yesterday, you think?
Yes, better than yesterday.
Okay. So I'd leave the rest for you to figure out. It's at least we have a recording you can review forward, and I guess spend a little extra time on this. Now, I would like to start with the index, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. What does index do? You want to just have a quick look at the definition. Operator is given task to read through the deeper textual content of pages and find matching for that specific in the body of text. Okay, somewhere to find relevant pages. I'm not going to talk about what's on the right hand side of it. This is just for fun. You can see what HTML code looks like and how the information gets picked up. I guess it's more of the same, but let's uh, let's look at it. Let's suppose this is the snippet, and I want to see where the information is coming from. The search engine collected information from meta tags at the header, and the meta tag contains, remember how we saw the meta tag information? It contains description, which is meta description, and then it looks at the URL, which is href tag, and then it reads the title. So this is the title of it. And all this information is actually coming from the coding or the backend, whereas all this area up till where it says title tag here, all this is actually running behind the header, which means the header part is this code is doing two things. One is it is bringing certain meta level information to the attention of the search engine. Second thing is that it is running to show when this code is executed, it is also going to show the colors in the header, the navigation in the header, and everything else that you are looking at the top level is actually projected or transformed through this code to appear as a header. That is why we are saying that this code is responsible for making the header appear as it does when you look at it. So this portion you can say is the header portion. And when you come down where other tags start, which means HC over here, H2 header is start, H2 non-meta tag is starting. Here is a P tag, and all other tags will be coming. And this means that this is a demarcation or a separation from the header part. You have to assume that this is the header, and everything that is starting from H2 tag downwards is the non-meta tags or is rest of the body of text. And notice here how these tags actually work. Let's just look at this one. For example, H2 tag. H2 tag starts from here and ends here. And everything in between that you don't have to worry about all this jargon, all this class, and all. Don't worry about it. Just read the text that is embedded in it. Here H2 starts and here H2 ends. It is not showing clearly, but it's got a backslash here, and over here it has less than, greater than, but no backslashes, which means that the H2 with less than and greater than, which is not visible, is the start of the tag, and what ends it is less than, backslash, H2, and greater than. That's the only thing. The backslash is the one that is saying that this is where the tag closes. And in a way, it is also saying the label H2 starts from here and ends here. And in between, the text is web search certification and training and education. Okay. So this is the information that the search engine is collecting, nothing else. Then there is a paragraph P tag. Here the P tag starts, here it ends. And look, in between, there is a lot of text, a lot of wordings here. And all of this is in the para, which means the paragraph that you get to see in front of you under the heading called Web Certification Training and Education. The next piece of information, and this is for real, you can actually match it. When you look at the page, you will see that this is how it is appearing. The Web Search Certification Training and Education at the top, and under that there is a para or something that talks about what the heading is representing. So the entire text, professional researcher owe it to themselves, and this ending over here, this becomes the P or the embedded text that it's going to match. And when you're using in text colon, your search will start from here, because you see it's being separated from the title tag. Title is belongs to the header side. So anything under this, starting H2 and P and all that, will become body of text, and in text will only match words. For instance, if you wrote in text certification programs and stay in touch with new materials, okay, and tools, let's suppose you want this to be matched what are you going to do? You're not going to use the in title here. You're going to use in text to search a longer sentence such as this one. Specifically, if it is not something that typically would be part of the title portion, then it would ignore everything on the top if you use in text colon and you write in the in text colon, stay in touch with new materials and tools. Okay, so that's the reason why this slide um, is here, is to explain it slightly better. So you understand this, right? If there is any ambiguity, anything that's not clear, please tell me.
Uh, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, Majdi.
I noticed the slide before, when there is a definition of in-text, they also showed the meta tag description. Is it an exception that the meta tag will be searched when we put the in-text operator?
The only exception, which I didn't want to confuse everybody here, is that the meta tag or description is the only exception for in text to also visit the description tag, which is actually running behind the header, and inherently it is supposed to be part of the meta structure and not the non-meta structure. But the in-text colon, when you declare the term there, it will make that exception and go and read the description meta description tag, which is the exception to the rule.
Oh,
If you want to
okay.
go to that extent, this is the only exception. Right.
Oh, great, thanks.
You're welcome. Uh, why don't we take a 10 minutes here, eh? And I'll see you then shortly. Romy, Anthony, if you're back, please let me know.
I'm back.
All right. I see all of you. Good. In this slide, we will do the trail of how the in-text is going to operate. Take an example of this query. We wrote in-text colon and then web search certifications, 3 word, one single search term or one single search phrase. When we ran in-text with these 3 words, we got the snippet, which looks like this. And you could see that it has emphasized or made these bolder, the 3 words, and they're appearing in the description part. Okay, not anywhere else, but in the description part. Okay. Why it is so is because we've used in text. If we use in title, it will try to match these 3 words in the title statement in some of these index pages. Correct? Okay. Now, let's look at the page itself, where when you click on this link, you go to a page which appears, or part of it is going to look like how it is showing to the user, this landing page. On this landing page, these 3 words are appearing as a heading of some sort. Okay. And what is below the heading is the paragraphs. So when we did in text, it took us to this snippet. From this snippet, when we navigated to this page, you could see that the heading is actually what contains these 3 words matching. And where in the code it is showing in the body of text an example of where it got pulled from, where the search engine read the non-meta tag like H2, for instance, in the body of text, and embedded in H2 was this statement, web search certification. So H2 is indicating the header part, not the header, using the wrong term, the caption, or the what the paragraph is going to be about. So H2 pulled web search certification from here and showed it or projected on this web page. So you could see the flow, how it is moving, okay, connecting to the in-text query. Is this clear? Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
excellent. So now let's just try to run some queries using in-text. Okay, so take an example of this search, in-text colon internet research specialist. In-text, which is the second instance of in-text we are putting. We are saying also look for the term online research and business intelligence. Also look for the term CIRS certification. You can even place it within quotes. So there are three instances of in-text. Why we did three instances? Because we only remember some of the wordings that should be on that page. In the body of text, like internet research specialist, we also want on those pages the wordings online research and business intelligence. And similarly, the third instance would include these wordings. Now, we don't know if all three different search terms are connected to each other. So it could have been a very long sentence, but we don't remember it, how it is phrased or how it is written in the on the content page, but we can only remember bits and pieces of it. Okay. And at the same time, we want all of these terms to exist on that page, which is called or which is to be found. So when we run a query like this is the result of it. The type of snippet that you will get to see would look somewhat like the one that you are seeing with, say, where it says para 1, para 2, para 4, and so on. Let me move this on one side and try to magnify it. Okay. Why is it not showing the magnify? Okay, well, can you read? Can you see this, by the way? It's big enough fonts. I think should not be a problem.
Yes.
So great. So we've got this snippet. Now, when we did in text, look where it's going to find the terms and display it for you. For the user, it is going to be shown in the snippet's description part. Okay. In the description part, you could see that there are three dots that are separating each one of these highlighted portions matching search terms. And what these three dots are showing is that there is a para, or it is just indicating it is more like a separator, as if there are different paras in the content page, which may have something at the top, something at the bottom, something at the end. But how are they going to compress it and place it all in one small place, which is already limited in describing um, what the page contains, or when these terms are to be found in different paras, they have to be projected in a certain way so that it would fit into this limited space. So three dots saying that in para 1 this is the term it found, in another para it found this term, and in another one it found this term. Okay. So when you go to the page, when you click on it, you would see that the term internet research specialist, for example, is appearing somewhere at the top, this para, which is actually the P tag or non-meta tag called paragraph P tag. And then there is another term that is found on the same page, but it exists in another para somewhere else in the body of text. And so it just keeps finding it in different paras. But imagine how it is going to bring it and present it in the description area. So that's when they use three dots to tell that these are found, but they are in different paras. It could be a very long content page. So in text is where it would be best used when you have terms that are multiple terms and may not necessarily be together. But that's not the only reason. You can also direct the search to go and look for maybe one search term on that specific page, not in the in title or in the title portion, but in the body of text. So this is a deeper search you're doing. Okay. Okay. Let's do something here. Let's just call one page from, let's say, AOFIRS and try to search the terms in two different ways. One, we're going to use in title, and the other, we will compare it with using the same terms in the in text format and see which one is going to work best. Okay, I think I have that in the book, an example. Let me find it. Yeah. Let's suppose we look at this example. The words learning benefits we used with in title, and this is by choice because learning benefits would exist because it is one of the um, wordings, or at least these two words are part of the title statement for some of the pages on AOFIRS. So we used in title learning benefits. Now, if we used in title again, and there was a long statement like the CRS certification objective is to, and all the way up to significantly large group with different markets. So this is a statement, and this statement will not fit into or typically does not make the title statement. So if we ran in title using these long sentences, we'll probably not get any results because let me see if I can run it or not. It's not letting me do that. Why? Protected, eh? It's copyright, but I have a way to do it. Let me see if I can. Let me copy this and again use a notepad. So let's suppose this is a query. Let's call it query one. Now I don't think that there would be any page that contains in the title statement this long wordings and especially incomplete sentences. So if I do in title, I'm going to get null results, zero results. Okay. So if instead I use in text, if there are any pages that has any of these wordings as they're placed inside of the quotes, it will find it. If not, it will, and I know these wordings are in our um, website. So more than likely, it's just going to find my website, or unless there is a, okay. So here it is, right? Oh, I made a mistake. Now you see, Google is also doing the corrections this way. See, if I wrote in text incorrectly, look, I did INTT. This is the first time I've discovered this. It wasn't there the last time we were doing it. Okay. So here is another surprise from Google. Anyway, it's a good thing that they're making those corrections happen. So when I did in text, see, I'm able to find exactly the page, right? Um, and when I do in title, it's not going to work. But if I write in title mm, and I write something that could be part of the title part. So let's say CIRS benefits, maybe we don't have it in the title portion. Maybe something else is there. So let's pick up from the site itself and look at the page and try to get back to the page using in title. This is how we would do it. So aofirs.org, and let's suppose I go to the certification page and I go right click and I say view page source and I do control F, title. I see this title. Now let me copy this title, and the idea is to get back to this page. Okay. And I've taken out the statement from the title tag. Now if I do in title and I put here within quotes, exact same statement. Let's see where it'll take us. Isn't this the same page as this one? Here's the other one. Both same pages. Is this understood? I showed you. And if we do something, let's not even go to the source code. Now, supposing in title, I write something else like outside of the quotation marks. I'm going to open it up. I will find the results. Even though there was no statement like CIRS benefits that could match exactly to any of the title statements in our domain, in our AOFIRS. But if we want to open it, CIRS and put benefits here, I'm sure I'll get something. Now you see another observation that you should keep in mind, and I don't have to remind you that the first word after the colon, which is absolutely mandatory, has to exist in the return results and in the title statement. So all the titles will carry the word CIRS. Even though CIRS could be used in, I mean, there are, it's a kind of an abbreviation of something. So there is the Cultural Retirement System, Calypso International, they are all CIRSs. Okay, that will show up. But the word benefit is something that it will try to find, which is with reference to CIRS, but not necessarily. Okay, and I'm talking about a situation when I'm not getting correct results and I'll open it up by removing the quotation marks. So now the word benefit will function slightly differently, meaning that CIRS will appear. And the second thing is, look at over here in the title statement, it does not have the word benefit. But what search did is that it found the CIRS in all of these title statements. All of the title statements will have the word CIRS, but the word benefit would be coming from anywhere else from the body of text. So this is the one of the things that the search will do. It will first try to make sure it finds the first word after colon sign, and the next word, wherever it finds it in the URL or in the rest of the body of text, it will prefer to bring that result back. Or those snippets will make the best effort to include the word benefits, but as a word that not necessarily is going to be part of the title statement. Okay. So this is what happens if you open up the quotation enclosure. Okay. So one of the reasons why CIRS benefits could not be found, we got the null results, is because anywhere that it searched for the title statement that carries these two words together as they're put here inside of the codes were non-existent. I couldn't find them. Okay. It's null results. Any questions on this? What is it? Okay. So in title, you know, in text, you know, right? Now, sometimes we want to create a search query that contains two operations, one for in-text and one for in-title, all in one search string. And that is by design or by intent. And I'll show you the reason why we do that and how it can be useful. Take another example. Supposing in title, I want but on the textual format or where rest of the body of text contains certain words, I want that to be become to be found as well. So I might just make another um, operator to help me steer that search, which would have membership benefits at the top and should have words like now I'm asking the search to find the page that has in its title these two words, but in the in text or on the page, which is the body of text, to have the word associate members. I'm not sure about it, but my best guess is that it would work. If not on CIRS, perhaps somewhere else, um, because this is pretty much common. So if I do it like this, I don't know why this keeps coming. What should I get? What? So there is the Association of Corporate Treasurers, which has the word membership benefit. And then in the in text or on the page itself, it should contain the word associate membership, associate membership. So basically, this is the query that you could do. And usually this is done in situations where you are searching for contact information, say in collecting sales leads. So in title, if I want to, you know, let's just do it on the notepad. So say in title, what Honeywell, let's say this is the company, making it simple. In text, I want displayed the contact. In text, email. Okay. So what I'm saying is for the search to find in the company Honeywell, the page that has in its body the word contact and email address. Let's try this one. Let's look at Honeywell. Now, this link, I want to open this link. Okay. Honeywell, it is taking you to Honeywell. Remember one thing that sometimes if you remember, I told you that the search engine reads the code. It does not read exactly what is shown to the users. Take this example: US and Canada customer care contact information, and rest of it is not clear or it is not shown. Um, Sometimes some of the information in the description part is not highlighted for some reason, which matches the key terms. But remember that when you click on this and you go to the page, you will find for sure the words. When you used in text, you will find somewhere those words are there in the on that page. And if you look at the title or open up the source code, it will be part of the title tag, and it may also appear on that page as well, but it is not showing to you. So what does that say? That says that search engine is reading all of it and it is bringing the correct results. It's just that, sometimes they won't show it to you, but whenever you click on that page and you go there, you'll find it. especially in the description part. Not information, not all of those wordings can be visible. And I'm not talking particularly about this example. Just telling you in the general sense, if you don't see it there, or it's not highlighted there, it doesn't mean that it will not exist. It will always be there because it is definitely part of the source code, and those tags that are bringing this information from the title tag or the description or anywhere else, those tags are the containers that the search is reading, and therefore the search knows that these matching terms exist, but it's failed to show it to you. So keep that in mind, that this could be a little bit deceptive, but you know that whenever you are going to go to the page, you will discover them. Okay. So I hope this is clear. And I showed you a combination of how you use in title and in text together.
I've got a question.
Yes.
You gave the example of the combination of in title and in text.
Yes.
An alternative would be, so please do correct me if I am wrong, because I will talk under your control. So if I put in title dot membership associate, and then instead of putting in text, I will put just the term within the quotation mark. I believe it will do the same, yeah? Because we said that a term within the quotation mark will search it either in the title, including, of course, the body of text. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what can in-text do that the quotation mark doesn't.
Okay, that's a good question. For example, if you do in text, you are basically ignoring the wordings that could be found in the URL, for example. Okay. It is going to also ignore those wordings that may exist in the title statement or in within the title tag that you did not mention, for example. But uh, making in-text exclusive to look for those wordings within the description tag and within the rest of the body of text means that you are not including the wordings within the title statement or the title tag or even in the URL. So that's when you are putting the in text. But if you don't put in text and you put the words, just like two words, say learning benefits, in the, or maybe I should just show it to you. So if you used Honeywell and you used contact and email as two words, what will happen is, and I am not using text. So contact and email will be matched for wherever they exist, whether in the body of text, whether it is in the title portion, or even in the URL. So this makes it a broader search to find these words outside of the specific or the restraint of the in-text colon.
Yeah, so the context will be more specific when we add the in-text.
Yes,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Okay, so this is the story of in-text. The by the way, we have a lot of examples to play with later on. For example, all these search queries that I have listed here, there's 60 of them. Okay. And when we get done with, right now we are getting introduced to advanced search operators and we are going through them one at a time. after we get done with this, then we will use them similar to how we have applied it, uh, with the in-text and in-title together. You will find that the search queries that we call complex search queries, for example, has all of these playing their own role. You see, in-text, site, there's. Similarly, you can see this as an example. Here we have used two dots. This is range for the numbers. In text, we have used here, we have used the or, we have used site, we have used the in URL. So they will all play their role. And if you have a good grasp of what site is capable of doing, or what are the rules to apply the site operators, you will learn in URL, you would know when to use it in the same search string. And that is where we are heading when we get introduced to all of these. Now, the next one that you will be learning is in URL. Then we will learn site colon. Okay. You know what site colon is capable of doing. It's a common information. It's everywhere on the internet, and we use this quite often, but there are rules of how to apply it. So just understanding what a certain operator is capable of doing may not be enough. We also have to know in what are some of the do's and don'ts of using it, and what could be the standard practice of applying these operators. All right. There is another video which I'm going to send you a link for, that I want you to also look at, because this knowledge is fresh in your mind right now. It is a good idea to just go through the video, as it is going to just sort of clarify a few things for you. So I'm going to go to the site, um, youtube.com, and look for in text, for example, AOFIRS. All right.
To our short run.
In text, not in text. I'm copying the link and I'm sending it to you. It's going to be in the chat. Please copy and paste it in your browser and go through it. I'll be back in about 7 or 8. I don't know how long this is, but I'll be back shortly. So please copy it and run it for me if any one of you can, or maybe all of you should try to run it to see if it's working for you. Let me know if it is started and it's showing okay. Romy, you got the link, eh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You're watching it now?
Well, I was until I heard you talking. I stopped it.
Okay,
You
okay.
want us to watch it now, right?
Yeah, start again. Start
Okay.
from 0, and I'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so still going on, or?
No, I finished it.
Okay. Let me know when everyone's done.
I've just finished it as well.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So was that helpful?
Yes. Is that a real guy? The guy looks like he's AI or something. The guy that's talking in the video.
Yeah, we couldn't afford anyone to do it for us, so we had to put the AI. You know, it's expensive if you have to have a guy, he's an actor and a
Right,
voice
right.
expert and this and that. You
Yeah.
should see the resumes we got, and the prices were huge. So AI, yes, it helps, but how real does it look though? I mean, I thought it,
it was realistic. It's just that if the guy maybe had a little bit more face expressions or something, I guess. I knew it wasn't a real guy. I'll say that. At first I didn't
yeah.
notice, but the
Hmm.
second video, this is the second one you showed, I noticed. I was like, this guy is not a real guy.
Good enough. So at least at the first glance, you couldn't tell. That means it's not as bad.
Right.
We've tried a few of these AIs, but the best one was Synthesia. Synthesia is very good actually, and it's
Oh, okay.
affordable. And then, they have these copyrights and, for a commercial license or for, all those different reasons, they would just add up the cost.
Right.
And, but Synthesia in that sense was better.
Okay.
So I'm glad at least it works. Now, I really want to start with in URL, but let's see if we can finish at least some of it. The in URL is quite quite intense in the sense that I have to explain to you the structure of the URL and then to tell you how the words that are matched inside of the URL, we call the stem of the URL. What is the usefulness of using an operator called in URL to match those words inside of the stem of the URL? That is something that you have to know the utility of it, because otherwise just saying to match the words in the URL, lot of students that I've been explaining said, what is the point of it, or why do we have to do that? We just are interested in the body of text and the title statements and everything else. But so I had to um, explain to them a little bit more than usual. So that's how I'm going to explain to you also. Oh, by the way, few more, few more slides. Oh, did you also see what is the difference between in text and all in text? Or no? It was there in
Uh,
the video.
oh, okay. I might have missed that one.
So here is it acts the same way as it does for in title. So let's suppose we have in text, and the first query was in text internet research specialist. So you could see that the word internet is there, research specialist is there, but in the text, what is highlighted is research specialist. Um, and when we say all in text, it means all of these are highlighted or all of these are together. In fact, it's not a very good example, to be honest with you. The word internet is there. Probably they missed it. It could have been highlighted if we did all in text. So, what all in text means is that all of these words would be there in the description part and then rest of the body of text, meaning that none of those words will be ignored. But when you do in text, the only word which is the first one will not be ignored. The other two words, research and specialist, would become a choice for the search engine. So this is the only difference. So if we did all in text, all three words have to be present. If we did in text, all in text, I'm sorry, if we did in text, this is how it's going to show up. Ignoring the internet, assume that it's not there. I'm just giving you conceptual because this probably is not as accurate of a example because I see this word there, but it's not highlighted. Um, if search engine had it didn't find the word internet, it would just rely on these two words, research and specialist. But with in-text, where the first word is internet, it is mandatory and it will not be ignored. But when we did all in text, it is going to carry all of these words. Take an example. Let's just do an example. I'll look at building a query because I'm not happy with this one. So let's do a new one. I'm going to build a query. Okay. So just to explain the difference. So if it is in text and I wrote um, versus all in text. Okay. Let's see what's going to happen. So I am thinking that in the first query, the search might ignore some of these words that is coming after the word research. It may drop certified or it may just bring CIRS certified and drop specialist. I don't know, but in text, I'm doing it as if I don't want all of these to be found, but at least some of them, which is after the word research, to be found. But when I do all in text, the return results will have to have all words returned in the description part. So let's try this one first. Just close, which I don't need. Good. Search is there. We are everywhere. Change it a little bit. CRS keeps bringing our site. So I say research specialist, and I say what is this giving me now? Got web, got search, got research, but it has dropped specialist and has dropped, yeah, he's dropped the word specialist. Expert lookup, online, expert. When you don't put words within quotation marks, you would see a lot of stemming and lemmatization. See, specialist has been replaced by the word expert. The word research is there, but if I go to these sites, I will definitely be able to see some of the words that are not showing in the description part. But for now, in the snippet, I see the word specialist is dropped. If I change this to all in text and I do see what's going to happen. Web is there, search is there, research is there. If I go to the site, the word that is missing, which is specialist, from the description part, is going to be found on this page. We'll get to it afterwards, but let's look at this one. It says specialist, web research, research. All of these words are there. And if I click on this one, if I want to find the word specialist, let's see. It should be here somewhere. Where is it? Here. Text research specialist. I didn't see it's here, but it should be on this page somewhere because that is what all is supposed to do. Now I'm going to also check the source code and do Control F and see if I can find the word specialist. Don't see it here. Oh, okay. Let's see
I
if we
see.
can find.
I saw it.
I saw it too, but it disappeared.
Well, the other page that you were on, yeah, down,
Yeah, this has it.
yeah.
So it
Okay.
has all the words. It's supposed to have whenever you put all in text, it should contain all of these words, especially research, which we know it has to be there. But these three words also have to exist on those pages. So let's check. Uh, Research is here, specialist here, web research is web research. Now here you can see the lemmatization. No, actually it is, yeah, it is stemming process. So search, research is the offshoot of the root word search. So maybe that's why it is there. But we use the word search and research, both of them. So where is the word search? So here is the lemmatization, the stemming takes place because we have not put them within quotation marks. So it is going to get the similar idea. This is cognitive intelligence, which is what the search engine is programmed to do. So if it knows that search and research would have similar meaning, you would find the word search replaced by research, which is also there, but the second word search is a root word for research. So it would assume that it has the same meaning or the same objective. So that's why it is showing like this. Um, in this one, it is showing the word search, showing web. But if you don't see it in the description part, I keep saying it, go to the page and find out where it's at, because it's going to be somewhere there. It may not be able to be accommodated in the description area because it may be somewhere down on the page or at the corner, and it's hard to compress and bring everything in the description part. So it has these algorithms that work in sort of ways that if it cannot accommodate it, it will not show, but it will be there on the page. Now here, research, 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 search, research, search, web, research, all of it is there. So when you do all in text, this is what happens. If you do in text, some of the words will be found, others will be ignored. And with the exception of the word research. So what we are discussing right now is the difference between all in text and in text. Whenever you put the word all, it just wants to find all of those words, not necessarily in the same order, but they will have to be found in the results. But in text may um, either find all of them or would have the option to drop them. But all in text will not drop any of these words. They will have to be part of the content page. And
I
it
have a
will do,
question.
yes.
Yes, so for instance, if you did all in text and you put
Mm,
those words in quotation marks, would that
mm.
be redundant, or will it have to look for those words in that same order if you put it in quotes?
If you put it in quotes, you are making it into a single search phrase. So that means it has to be found as you have put them in the same sequence that while you're making it into a phrase. When you put anything within quotation, it becomes one single search term which have to be matched exactly, and that would not allow for the search to drop any of those words inside of the quotes. So there is no point in putting all in or put the word all. The only
Right, so it
way
would
that
be redundant.
Yes. Uh,
Okay,
but if you have more than one search terms, like you put all in text and you put XYZ within quotes and then put another term, ABC in the next within quotes, it is going to have to find both of these in the return results because you have used all in text.
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
sure. No worries. Okay. What's Okay, I think when we are doing in URL, it is better to, go through it, during the entire session to maintain the continuity. But if there's anything else I'm missing out, okay, still have one more slide. Okay, I want to show you how the description area is, is coming in different sort of formats, and Google keeps changing these formats. But whenever we run in-text query and the result comes in, it would show different flavors or different formats of how the description is laid out. This slide is giving you examples of those. Um, for instance, anything under the title statement is called the description area. All of it is description. Okay. This is one example of finding in the description the words Bart Simpson, for example. And by the way, you can actually run this query. It's very interesting the results you get when you do Bart Simpson. Okay. It's like he's alive, and the everything just sort of starts to reveal so many different relationships, with Bart Simpson having relationship with the son, with the daughter, with the dog, and all that. It just would be looking somewhat like this. So it was a good example to see how the description formats are different. This one, for example, is called featured rich snippet. The features rich means that some additional attributes or additional information is highlighted, like voiced by, first appearance. So it makes it rich snippet. That means it is not just giving the information from the description tag, but it is also bringing additional information which is referential to the main information. But it is all on those pages. It's not like um, the pages don't have it, except that most of what is shown in rich snippet is not necessarily all of it is shown on the page. Some of it is actually captured from the back end, or those tags which otherwise don't show on the page itself. So there could be some hidden tags, some hidden information which is revealed when you use in-text query. So this is how the links are showing. If you click on any one of these links, these would take you to another page or another piece of information. But together, all that is under the title is considered to be description, and it is called featured rich snippet. There's additional features to it. Similarly, this box that comes up, like people also ask, how did Bart Simpson die, or all of these questions that you see, it is also a kind of a description. Okay, it's called related questions, but it is revealed based on, if you're writing in the in text something which would have this characteristics or have this type of search term which triggers questions that generally people ask. It is also going to be revealed as shown over here. It's called related questions snippets. Uh, by the way, it's all snippets. Even this box is a snippet. Then you've got other type of snippet like this one. It has rating. Okay. It is called rich text snippet. Okay. Then we've got another one which shows, it's called news text snippet. So if it is a news segment, something that relates to Bart Simpson, it will be called news text snippet. This is also a snippet. So it's just showing you the different types. And then there is image snippets. This one is the image snippet. Okay. But whatever is supposed to be revealed by using in text as a deeper query will also bring everything that has to do with Bart Simpson. So it makes it a deeper query in the sense of what is being displayed besides just the regular snippet you are used to. So everything is scooped and brought to you because the character of the in-text makes it reveal or makes everything related to Bart Simpson to start to show up. If we did in-title query, it wouldn't come up as extensively as it would if you use in-text. Okay, so that idea you have to keep in mind. So the in-text query is something that researchers usually go with, especially finding something to do with some excerpts that is taken from book, or this famous quotations, or anything that is to reveal, more elaborate information on a topic, then you would obviously be using in text. Okay. Is this clear? You could see. Then there is book snippets. definition snippets. All of these have got different structures, a format, so you can observe that. And this comes up only when you use in-text query. Long time ago, or maybe about a year and a half ago, the Google search also included an operator called in URL. I'm sorry, it was called link colon. That used to do something similar. And then there was another one that was called source colon. So both of these used to do something similar to what you're looking at, but now in-text has replaced it. So in-text would do another deeper search, which is just beyond the concept that we talked about the body of text. It also does formats of text. So formats of different types of description would also start to reveal themselves. These are just practice queries that you can work with. It's just there for you to check and test out. But I'm going to do some of these examples in the next class. For example, using minus chemistry, minus zoology, this versus using minus in text, and so on. But conceptually, it would act exactly the same as we practiced while using the in title. So it's not all that different. It's the same. But because this is a homework, but I will do some of these queries with you in the next class. Okay, we'll start with in URL in the next class, day after tomorrow. So if you have any questions, I can answer. Please let me know. Something to do with in text.
So the next class is Monday, right?
Next class is Monday. Whenever you ask this question, I always go and check the schedule because it just makes me nervous. Let me check. We have Monday, 13th of November. We have a class all throughout the next week, but I have to finish up everything on the queries in the next 4 classes. So that is important for me and important for you to be available on the 13th, which is Monday. So have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And if you get a chance, just go through the recording. And if you have any questions, and we'll meet on Monday, you can ask later. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And enjoy your weekend. Bye bye for now.
Have a good weekend all.
Have a great weekend. Thanks.
Everyone, take care.
Thanks.
Bye bye. Thanks.